Hello, everyone, and welcome back to CosmoQuest Hangoutathon 2025. Save our science. And, and oh my god, the economy is so bad right now. There are so many out of work scientists. There's so little money available out there. And I apparently set my microphone down. And
Okay.
not a low microphone level. It's a okay. So here's what happened. I have bacon. I have microphone, and the microphone got put down in favor of the bacon.
See, the fun part about technology miniaturization, which we have NASA to thank for, is that you can lose your microphone in a couch cushion or a chair
Yes,
cushion.
yes.
Um,
And this particular microphone that I'm using, I broke the clip off of the other night. And when my hair was braided, I stuck it in the braid, and that worked, except when my hair rotated and the mic was pointed away from my face. So I'm now trying to remember to hold the microphone and eat the bacon. And
Keeper says bacon is more important than microphone.
this is true. The gain of the microphone is 6 ounces of sodium and a pound of fat, and it is
Also, it's turkey bacon.
amazing.
They made me turkey bacon. I'm very happy.
We love you. Annie Wilson and Ms. Britt Kitten, two of so Annie is an alumni of CosmoQuest. Ms. Britt Kitten is one of our dear community members, and they aren't appearing on camera this weekend, but they have been here feeding us, and Allie and I both have a lot of food restrictions, and I don't even have to ask if something is going to harm me. And that is so rare and unusual and wonderful. So we're super grateful for the off camera humans bringing us bacon. All right. So, what we're actually here to discuss, this is, as I was saying, hour 21. This session
Already?
is conning for science. And uh, the way Ali and Alex and I all met, the way Sarah, who was here in the last segment, met, was at cons. And I met Jenny, who's with us, not at a con, but I would like
Well,
to meet her at a con.
Yes.
And I would like to learn her cosplay ways so that we can go and have people go, oh my God, your costume is so awesome. And then we can tell them how many space toilets there are or whatever fact it is of the moment.
mhm.
And so Jenny Larson, who's joining us, go
Okay.
ahead.
Oh, sorry. Veronica was asking you to introduce Jenny. And then I realized that's what you're doing. I'm very tired. I'm so sorry,
It's
everyone.
okay. So Jenny Larson is a research scientist with us over at the Planetary Science Institute. She is a planetary scientist who has done work on disaster science, so fairly similar to Mika McKinnon. And she is also a cosplayer, someone who has competed in the masquerades, which I simply watch, and she is evolving from the masquerade side to the guest side as I evolve from the guest side to wanting to learn how to make better costumes. And so we shall meet in the middle and conquer is what I'm thinking.
Mhm.
Jenny, can you introduce everyone to who you are as a con goer? And I'm going to eat my bacon.
Yeah. Yeah. Eat your bacon for sure. So I have been going to cons for a while now. And cosplaying for about as long. My goodness. It's like almost 10 years. Um, Time flies. But so I've been to MegaCon, Hallmat, FanX, a bunch of places, and I started out as just like a cosplayer going, um, and I would just go hang out. And then I kept running into like the NASA tents and like booths and whatnot that often pop up at different cons, and I would always get to talking to them, especially like as I was wrapping up my PhD. I was like, "Hey, you guys offering jobs?" And they were like, "What?" But it was just like this. I think I was in like a pinup Captain Marvel and just like asked for a job, and they were just like, "What?" It's just like, "Hey."
I love
um,
that. I have stories like that I may tell later.
but so my yeah, so I go on Instagram by actually dr Marvel, actually Dr. Marvel.
Yeah.
Um, and that is because like I study space science. And I love it, but I also love Captain Marvel and I love cosplaying Captain Marvel. Um, and so this last FanX in September, I was like, wait, why am I just going to cons? Why don't I also go and talk about disasters? Because I love disasters. Um, and so I like submitted to have a panel there and had this panel, and like I was shocked at the number of people who actually showed up to the panel and like engaged with me. Um, there were people who there was like a young woman who was in high school who was looking to go into planetary science, like volcanology. And she was like, "Oh my gosh, this is the coolest. I didn't even know that these were things I could study." And so I got to like connect. I mean, that's what cons are for, is connecting.
Yeah.
And so I got to like connect with all these cool people, and that's just like, I'm like, dang, now I got to do this every time. Like that's like I love the contests, but like the panels suddenly more fun.
Panels are so much fun. I love that we kind of both have like a Captain Marvel connection because back during like the Carol Corps days, which was like Captain Marvel like fandom, I organized all the Carol Corps stuff at Dragon Con and organized all the meetups with Kelly Sue DeConnick, and like just it was a lot of fun. The first year we did it, the comic book track gave us a room that was supposed to hold like 150 people because they didn't know if it was going to be a big thing. And like over 300 people showed up, and the fire marshal was ready to murder us.
Your audio is apparently very low. I'm not sure how your audio is low and mine isn't.
Hold on.
Are you not turned on?
No, I'm turned on.
Channel 4?
Hello? Hello?
That's
Test, test. I don't know.
Thank you,
Like,
Into the
it's
Lore,
going.
for sharing the Instagram
oh
information.
yeah, that's me.
Oh, okay. Thank you.
I need to really just like get all of my accounts on the same board, honestly.
This is where I'm lucky that I kind of predate a lot of this technology because I got the username Starstrider uh, back at the transition to MySpace from LiveJournal because I am old.
I miss LiveJournal. R.I.P.
Yeah,
LiveJournal.
LiveJournal was amazing.
My
And
LiveJournal past is currently coming back to haunt me in weird ways right now, and I don't know how to feel about that. Anyway,
so I've had Starstrider for so long that it's now just become habit. New platform exists, pwn username. New
Yep.
platform exists,
Yep.
pwn username. And what I didn't know was like one of the people who was out there also trying to get that username, who didn't know me yet, turned out to become one of my graduate students. And that was just one of the funniest things. And we were both Lord of the Rings fans. And that was a thing.
Yeah, I was
Um,
really mad when I like switched to actually Dr. Marvel because there are so many Dr. Marvels out there. And I was like, but you're not the real one because you don't have a PhD in planetary science. You don't study planetary protection. You don't also cosplay as Captain Marvel. So,
yeah, who knows? My username Inane English started out as like a joke between me and some friends. Oh my God, the dogs really are barking.
And Annie is yelling at them.
But it
So
started out as like an in joke with me and my friends when I was a freshman in undergrad. And that was 20 years ago now. And it's just kind of just followed me everywhere. And it's like I now have all that recognition, so I can't change it.
Yeah, I get it.
yeah. So one of the things that I really want to be able to do in the future is once upon a time, long, long ago, when NASA had more funding, we were funded, CosmoQuest was funded to go to science fiction conventions, to go to big, large scale public events, and do fan tables for science and introduce people to community science projects, to go and be on panels and do all of this funded by NASA to be ambassadors into these spaces. And we're not going to be funded by NASA to do that again. They don't have the money to do it anymore. And so these are things that we will be looking for corporate sponsors. We will be looking for individuals who want to enable this being possible. And I have very specific dreams in some cases of like things I would love to do as ways to transition from being at the con to getting people to engage in science. And cosplay is one of those things. Now, you're just starting to be a guest, and welcome to the wild journey of being on the other side of the table. We welcome you.
Thank you.
Have you started doing anything to match your cosplay to the panels you're on?
Ooh, not fully. Yeah, this last FanX, my cosplay, I always try and do something Captain Marvel. Unfortunately, my main Captain Marvel didn't fit because I am currently pregnant. Um,
If it did fit, we'd be
so
very disturbed, and the baby would be more disturbed than us.
yes, yeah, that one has gotten a bit tight. But I did have a Captain Marvel Sailor Moon cosplay crossover that I made when I was in grad school and had like my grad school weight. Um, and it was also all spandex, which meant that it fit very nicely with a pregnant belly. Um, so that became my panel cosplay for this last one, which was like oddly cute for talking about like the world ending.
Oh.
um, but it seems semi-appropriate. Like,
It is total. So I'm the kind of human that I moderated a panel on climate change while dressed like a walrus.
yeah,
And the
love
thing
that.
is, walruses are going to be deeply impacted and are being deeply impacted. And walruses have concerns about climate change.
And I was at that panel. That was the Aresia panel, and I'll tell you what they like. If a walrus is teaching you about climate change, you will remember everything you hear at that panel.
Yeah,
Like it was a full on no face,
It was a
unless I like.
kigurumi. It was a walrus kigurumi.
Yeah.
It was very cute.
that is.
We all have like all of us here at CosmoQuest have like different animal kigurumis that kind of like match our personalities. Like I have a raccoon one.
Annie has a bat. I have a walrus, Cuckoo Cuckoo. Eric has a rocket ship, which
That
is,
works for him.
yeah,
Yeah.
completely appropriate. Rich has a rainbow unicorn. Ms. Brick Kitten has many, but pink cat is the most commonly seen. This is a thing we do. And
I do
We'll
have
probably.
a brown bear onesie.
oh, I love that.
It was originally a trinket costume from Critical Role, um, and it's just a general bear now. So
I really want to get a Totoro one, and I've seen some really good
yes.
ones on the Studio Ghibli gift shop that are licensed and don't cost an arm and a leg, which is what I was expecting. And it's like, I am
love
willing to give
that.
Studio Ghibli money.
Mhm.
So someday I will own a Totoro onesie. But until then, I cosplay by scavenger hunt. I'm very good at crawling the pages of Etsy with specific visions for what I'm looking for and the ability to measure my measurements. You actually craft your own cosplay.
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Like, what materials have you taken on in the pursuit of superhero-ness?
Okay, so my latest one was a challenge. It was Absolute Wonder Woman. She recently came out in comics, and unfortunately, I am absolutely terrible at taking pictures at cons, so there are not that many pictures.
That's
And
okay.
also, I was like 4 or 5 months pregnant, so it wasn't fully fitting properly. But thankfully, I made it adjustable. Um, but my goal with that one was to actually use like as many natural materials as possible because being like the princess of hell, she wouldn't have had access to spandex. Um, Unfortunately, you cannot make skin tight pants without a little bit of spandex. So I had to bend some rules in some places, mostly in the pants. Um, but I actually recently switched to just using leather in place of a lot of foam
Mm-hmm.
because it lasts longer, it's more durable. You can create cosplays that are actually more realistic looking because like armor can be made from leather. It is made from leather.
Anakin
Um
Skywalker had leather armor.
mhm.
Sorry, random Star Wars
No,
No.
fact
I
interjected.
didn't realize that he does.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Those are
And you
really
can
cool.
also incorporate like actual physical metal because you can go to the store and buy sheets of metal.
Yeah.
Um, you can actually put metal on the leather and have real armor. Um, and it gets expensive,
Yeah.
Hmm.
but once you learn what you're doing and how to do it and like different techniques, different types of leather, it gets so much easier to work with than foam.
Yeah.
Foam is so annoying.
Hmm. I
Yeah.
used the one time I made a cosplay was is actually a Winter Soldier cosplay, but comic book version, not movie. And I made the arm out of like spandex and thermoplastics
Oh wow.
Mm-hmm.
that were
Mm-hmm.
painted to like look like metal, and I kind of wish that I had been able to like make like a fully metal one. That would have been
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
someday.
Yeah.
One of the things that I dream of doing eventually is when you're at Aresia, how many stories start. I I was in the shopping area and there was a woman walking through just looking
Oh,
at booths.
sorry, I hit a button.
Are we good?
Hold on. Okay, now we're good.
All right, sorry. So I was walking around the Aresia shopping hall, vendor hall, and there's this woman in a early Victorian, late Regency dress that was essentially a hoop skirt, and it was divided into 12 panels that was each one of the zodiacal signs. And it was this beautiful navy velvet, and she had the corset and the jacket and the cape, and um, the costume probably weighed 30 pounds. And I was like, I can do a version of this that weighs less and is the
Mm-hmm.
entire damn sky. because Star Wheels are one of the tools that I loved using when I was in graduate school teaching observational astronomy. And taking and doing it so the North Pole is where your body goes. And then you extend down to the ecliptic at the hem. That is the kind of thing I would just really love to create someday. And I have the sewing skills, but I've never made something that big. I'm the human that like drops keyboards on the ground randomly during sessions and cause them to go thunk. But I'm also the human that like makes our friend groups stockings and does all the detailed work and stuff. But I've never made a full outfit that had the same details I put into a stocking. So these are things where I want to be able to stand there and say, all right, so the earth is rotating around the pole. That's the axis through my body. And the skirt, and you can do it with an overskirt that like allows you to see the part that's in the sky on a given night. And like, I have dreams, people. I have dreams of teaching science with a magnificent giant ass cosplay. What about you?
Very cool.
What do you dream of making, Allie?
Oh, I don't know, because I'm not a cosplayer. I realized very quickly that I don't have the patience for it, and that's a me thing.
You scavenger hunt.
Yeah, I scavenger hunt. I like to play
It's still
dress up
cosplay.
occasionally.
That is still cosplay.
Yeah, and like I said, the one cosplay I actually made was like a Winter Soldier cosplay, because little obsessed with that character for a few years. But just I don't know. I would, I've said before this, like I would love to get back into like production work for cons, because I did that for Dragon Con for like a decade. Was in their videography department and helping to run their in-house TV network and co-host live TV shows and stuff, and I miss that. I would love to like do EVSN live from whatever convention if we get to
it's
take CosmoQuest back to cons.
We used to do Astronomy Cast back when I had federal grant money to cover salary. We had Astronomy Cast money to cover cons. And back in those days, when Fraser and I were traveling to conferences and cons, we did Astronomy Cast live, and we actually one year had a ceiling tile collapse water onto our audience, and it's one of those things that like has forever been immortalized into our live shows. Mm-hmm. That was a thing.
No, I remember being at one of your live recordings in a hotel room at Dragon Con one year.
Yeah.
Very, very much inebriated, as one is at Dragon Con after 9 p.m. And it was funny when I was brought on board to CosmoQuest, because it was like, I remember you from Dragon Con and you and you and you. Yeah, it's just all these people that I had met at Dragon Con years ago and had no idea were involved with CosmoQuest. Because I met Pamela at Balticon, and I know some of you in chat have heard this story many times. But we met at a room party at Balticon that I think Pamela was there doing like Astronomy Cast stuff.
Yeah.
Because Balticon had, and I think still has, a really great podcasting track.
Yeah. And this is one of those things that I find myself having to explain often, and you've probably run into the same thing, Jenny, where as scientists we're asked to communicate our research to other audiences, like not just to talk to other PhD researchers about what we do, but actually like let the public in on the gig as well. And part of that for a long time was writing EPO writers to our grants, writing broader impacts for our grants, explaining this is what I'm going to do to communicate my science to broader audiences. And a lot of people are like, our audience is everybody, the entire public. We're going to reach this many gazillion people in this way. And the problem with trying to create content that is designed to reach everyone is it doesn't reach anyone well. Mm-hmm. And And so you see, there's a lot of very broad and shallow stuff that touches a whole lot of humans. NASA, with their eclipse stuff, they had solar viewers and eclipse guides that literally, according to the numbers, reached like order of a billion people on the planet. But they didn't leave anyone fully understanding the science of the sun, because that needs to be explained in a way that works for the audience that's in front of you. And in building CosmoQuest, we were designing something to do more complicated community science projects, working with a variety of different missions. And when asked, who is your audience? I had this moment of, I'm supposed to say the entire public, and that's the wrong answer. And so what I said was the kinds of people that you meet when you go to a science fiction fantasy convention. And that is who our audience is. It is the people at MagicCon. It is the people at Aresia. It is the people at Geek Girl Con. It is the people at FanX.
Now, that's one I'd like to go back to. I've been to Geek Girl Con twice, and that was like a decade ago. I would absolutely love to go to Geek Girl Con. It would be so much fun to take CosmoQuest to Geek Girl Con.
You were there back in the heyday.
Yeah, I was there 2014 and 2015. Or did I go in 20? No, I went in 2014. I went to Emerald City Comic Con in 2015. I spent a lot of time out on the West Coast those 2 years because there was a girl. That thankfully things didn't work out with, because then I met my wife. Yeah, I love Geek Girl Con, and I'm glad that it's still going.
Now, Jenny, if you could do anything in the name of science at a science fiction fantasy comic book convention, what would you want to do?
Oh man. Anything in the name of science.
Yeah.
I mean, I talked about yesterday doing panels on like wow, pregnancy brain is kicking in. On like looking at aliens and whatnot. It's a real thing, guys. Looking at alien movies and like analyzing those. I think I really want to create like some cool cosplays that like seem to defy physics,
Yeah.
but actually enhance it. Like use physics principles and just simple mechanics, because there are so many cool things with like wings and simple levers where I've seen people do. There's someone made a really cool Toth cosplay where they use fishing wire and like a big like hoop of some sort, but you couldn't see the hoop very well. And she had it like strings attached to her fingers, so when she moved, it looked like these like floating rocks were just like moving around her.
We lost Jenny.
Oh no.
I don't know what happened. She just, her sound went out.
What?
Hold on, give me a chance, Pamela.
Oh, we can hear
Wait,
you
there,
now.
you're back. Okay.
Didn't do anything.
No, none of us did anything. I don't know what happened.
I had this panic of, did my battery die in my earpiece?
No,
That was where
no.
I went.
Okay, so you were saying about like the really cool.
But yeah, so these like strings attached each finger to like a different like fake rock, and as she moved to like look like she was earthbending, it would move these rocks.
No.
I don't know.
Are we not supposed to talk about this?
Now you're back. I don't know. Zoom is censoring the cosplay content. Like, what is wrong with you, Zoom? I don't know what happened.
You're just not supposed to know
Not supposed to know
about
about
this
the Todd
cosplay.
costume. Yeah, that did remind me. I commissioned a cosplay once of Avatar Korra,
Hmm.
for like a big like Avatar: The Last Airbender like cosplay group, and it was so much fun.
Oh, that's weird. The audience is like, we didn't have any gaps in the hearing, so apparently it's just Zoom decided
Just
Allie and I
us.
weren't allowed to hear anything anymore.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
But
No, you guys can't hear.
I'm glad y'all
The
got to
audience
hear
knows
that.
at least, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
But
it'll
yeah, like
remain a
doing
mystery to us.
until I make it. But yeah, just like incorporating cool and wacky mechanics. Like there's also some really cool things with optics and fabric that I would love
Yes,
to do.
yes.
Um, and just like working out like different like shifts in fabrics, even if I have to like weave it on my own, I don't care. Or
This
like
is the cosplay ethos right here. It's like
Yeah.
I will teach myself how to weave on a loom to make the fabric I need, and that yeah, that's the most like cosplayer thing I have ever heard.
So we have someone named High Potential that is in the chat who is just like, holy shit, it's Jenny. You got Wonder Woman on the panel, on the show rather. So I need to pass that comment along because it brought me joy.
oh, well, thank you. So yeah, but I really want to work out like even I've seen this really cool thing where you can take like fiber optic like threads and literally sew it into outfits. And I have no idea where the battery pack would go, but like that's a future problem. Um,
Hair. It always goes at the back of my neck under my hair. That's where my battery pack can be found.
I remember once
that's
one of
fair.
my
Yeah.
friends did like a big cosplay fail. I don't think they really thought this through. They decided to use duct tape to attach the battery pack to their leg. And I'm just like, at least if you're going to do that, people use gaffer tape.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yeah.
It will hold
Yeah.
just as well and it will come off without taking your skin with it. Like,
Hmm.
but maybe find a different way. Like, but again, gaffer tape, not duct tape.
Yeah. Yeah. Because also like Wonder Woman's lasso, I've made one lasso that has it's really cool. It's really cool. It's actually on my wall, like up beyond where you can see it, unfortunately. But it has some neodymium magnets on each end, so I can swing it and throw it at a metal wall, and it will stick.
That's awesome.
It's one of the coolest things that I've made. But I it doesn't light up, and I'm like, I need it to light up. But how do you light up a lasso without a battery pack? Just like
You need button batteries. You can
okay.
do it with button batteries. We can do this. I've figured
Okay.
out stuff like this for lightsabers. Um,
Ah,
yes.
Yeah.
This is a problem we can solve.
okay.
And broken symmetry is like duct tape when you need to exfoliate in a hurry.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what you do the night before a contest. I'm kidding. I've never done that.
Okay. No.
Or whatever.
Can I have my other earpiece?
Okay. Okay. Is that one dying?
I can't hear anything, and you're apparently able to hear, so I'm hoping. Can you hear Jenny?
Say something, Jenny.
Hey.
Yeah, I can hear
Hey.
Jenny.
I hear nothing.
I had here. This probably makes more sense.
Okay.
We're using my beats and her beats. Like, we are not sponsored by Beats, but we could be.
We could be.
Good.
We actually had a really good conversation last night about how for our news show we don't want to have to worry about corporate sponsorship limiting what we're allowed to say. And I was like, coffee can sponsor us. Coffee does not care if it's Boeing or Blue Origin, and so
Yeah.
like that's who we
Yeah.
need to sponsor us. And duct tape could sponsor us.
Yeah, duct tape,
Mhm.
Gorilla tape.
Yeah,
Gorilla glue. Oh my gosh, the amount of
that
Gorilla
stuff
glue I use.
expands. It's a betrayal.
No, but there's Gorilla glue sticks.
Now I can't hear Jenny.
Oh, really? I
You
can
can't know the secrets, Allie. You can't know them.
This is surreal. Okay,
That's
I
so
can
weird.
hear you at least. I'm gonna
Well, that's good.
Oh, I think it's dead.
Oh.
Okay.
Awesome. But yeah, Gorilla
Okay.
Glue does sell glue sticks.
That's good to know. So the only Gorilla Glue I've worked with is the liquid Gorilla Glue that
Hmm.
expands and makes me shout at it later.
Yep.
Um,
No.
so yeah. So I'm waiting to see if we have the headphones working. Oh, we now have music working is what we have.
Oh, it's not coming through. Did I accidentally play Sabrina Carpenter again?
I
Can't
think
hear
you actually
music.
started Pretzel Rocks somehow. Folks, the technology has started to say it is also tired and it is done with our shenanigans.
I'm sorry. The technology is revolting
I
in
think
every
so.
sense of that word. Um, I don't know if people can hear me.
I think they can hear you talking.
Okay, and I can't hear a single freaking thing.
Jenny, can you say something? Because
Yeah.
my yes, I can still hear you. Okay, we're good.
Say something.
This is Spriggy.
Okay, now I can hear you.
All right. That was the
Spriggy's my
shenanigans
cat.
part.
Sorry, everyone. Like all the wireless headphone or earbuds decided to just be
Oh.
like, no, no.
So what's really awesome about science fiction conventions in the name of science is people show up to hear you talk about weird stuff. And so there was one year that I was on a panel on these are the ways we can destroy civilization. And beforehand, I thoroughly humiliated myself because this gentleman came up to me dressed in a military uniform with the last name Khan, and he was like, Lieutenant Admiral Khan. And I was like, that's the most amazing cosplay because I thought he was cosplaying like a young Khan from Star Trek. No, it was the Surgeon General of the United States in his actual military uniform. That was who he was as a person, and I thought it was a cosplay. And then I had to sit next to him and discuss these are the ways you destroy society for the next hour, and I wanted to
That's
die.
so. I apparently had like an entire conversation with Nathan Fillion at Dragon Con one year, and this was before I had watched anything he was in, right? Because I was very late to Firefly. I had no idea who he was, and he was being kind of weird. And in retrospect, I think he was like expecting me to know who he was, or he thought I knew who he was. I had no idea. And I didn't know until one of my friends was like, "Oh, you need to watch Firefly." And this is like 6 months later. And I'm just like,
So I met Jason Momoa and did that.
Jason Momoa he asked me if I wanted to touch his abs once at a convention. I didn't, and I wish I had because he was clearly consenting, but it was just like I'm like, okay, he's such a chill dude.
Yeah, I I'm so jealous actually, not because of touching his abs, but just that you got to meet him
Oh,
because
yeah.
I have a poster that has signatures from Ray Fisher and Zack Snyder, and it's for like the Snyder cut of Justice League.
Oh, wow.
Because I won a cosplay contest when the Snyder cut came out, and it was like his cosplay contest where you get to hang out with him for an
Oh,
hour, but it was COVID, so it was all on Zoom.
Oh,
Still phenomenal, wonderful human being, love Zack Snyder. Um, but I'm trying to get all of the signatures of the cast, and I'm
yeah.
just like, ah, you met him.
yeah,
So,
this was back before Jason Momoa was well known. This is when he was still, Stargate
Stargate.
Atlantis.
Yeah.
Like,
Same.
yeah, that's when I met him, when he was like still like very fit dude, but not like quite as like beefy.
Burly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Early Game of
and
Thrones.
so back in September of 2008, I walked around Dragon Con with a sign that said, "I'll be celebrating the International Year of Astronomy," and got a whole bunch of famous people to hold it and point at it and say that they'd be celebrating the International Year of Astronomy. And like, I went back through the pictures, and at the time I was early career researcher, had absolutely no spare time, was not watching as much TV as I used to, was clearly behind on Stargate Universe. And so I didn't recognize a whole lot of the people that I was getting photos of and hanging out with. And I'm just in general really bad when people are out of context. So like, I met the actor who played Apollo in the new Battlestar Galactica, who is actually like my height with a British accent.
And just a very cute man.
Yeah,
just a very
Jamie
cute, nice
Bamber.
man. Yeah, I met him accidentally too at Dragon Con before I started
And I
watching
had no
Battlestar.
idea who I was meeting, despite like loving again, theme of the weekend, love Battlestar Galactica. And yeah, he was out of context and his voice changed. And apparently I really recognize people by their voice.
I just like a bunch of my friends wanted to meet him and we're all like giggling over him, and I was just standing there. I'm just like, what? I'm just like, okay, this very like short, nice English man is talking to us. Cool.
Thank you, Bad Panda. Thank you for the
Oh,
donation.
thank you, Bad Panda.
You are
Panda
amazing.
just gave us $200.
I've got, I don't know if you did, but I've got to hang out in person with Bad Panda Bear at conventions where he helped us with booths,
Aw.
where we didn't have enough people to do all the panels we were trying to present at and have the booth we were trying to have. And he is also a human that I have photos of at cons. Thank you. Thank you so much.
I just yeah, if you go to conventions long enough, you end up with all these just weird, goofy stories
It's true.
about guests and about just regular congoers, and it's, you know, I have like over a decade of those stories stored up. Some I can tell here. Others are very much you can hear about them in person over a drink, and I will deny I ever told them to you. So, and Pamela's been there for some of those.
Yes. And I'm sure I will be there for more, and hopefully we'll have Jenny joining us.
Yes.
Yes, I would love to join.
Pamela and I used to like kind of get up to trouble at Dragon Con.
We held up a few walls in our years. And what's, you never know who you're going to be doing science outreach to at these events. And one of my funnier experiences in the Hilton Bar, where all good stories of science track at Dragon Con start, I had Bruce Press, rest in peace, friend, another member of this community who's passed, but he wasn't in our Discord, so a lot of you didn't have the pleasure of getting to know him over the years. Bruce came up to me and he's like, "You need to come talk to this person." And the person he takes me up to talk to is Chris Judd of Stargate.
And Chris is such a he is a giant teddy bear.
Nicest guy.
He's so sweet. He's a giant teddy bear. He's enormous. He's so
Yes.
tall. I'm 5'1", so everyone's tall to me, but he's like very tall. And this was like years ago. The last time I saw him at Dragon Con, like I went up to say hi. We always like talk to every convention. And I went to give him a hug, and he just picks me up to give me a hug because he's like, he's over a foot taller than me.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, no, he is a sweetheart.
And so he believed that human beings had gone to the moon, but he also believed that the moon footage shown on live TV was falsified. And it was the
He's
most
a little weird.
it was the most fascinating conversation I've ever had, because everything he said made sense but was against everything I'd ever learned and know to believe. But and the cognitive dissonance I was wrestling with while also being given whiskey.
I have a question for you, Pamela.
Yeah.
Did Bruce like come and get you specifically so you could hear all of that?
Yes.
Because I'm just imagining him listening to Chris Judd talk about this and just being like, wait, no, I gotta go get someone, and just being like, Pamela, you have to hear what this person is saying.
Yes, that was exactly the experience we went through. And so now this is someone who, I think I still have his phone number on my phone, and we've had conversations at multiple cons. And these are my favorite, proudest, weirdest con moment was I was at Pensacon and I was so sick. I had pneumonia and didn't know I had pneumonia.
Oh
And
no, you were con crud patient zero.
I was, and I was just trying to survive. And I'd gone to the green room because coffee, and I sat on the sofa, and I was literally like, I am so sick. Coffee, you are my method of survival. And not Harrison Ford, and good Lord, brains. He played Apollo in the original Richard Hatch. Richard Hatch sat down next to me and was looking around and talking and grabbed food. And I looked at him and I'm like, when I was 5, I was in love with you. It was my internal dialogue. This did not escape my mouth.
Thank God. It would have come right out of my mouth if it was you. Like, it just...
Luckily, what came out of my mouth was, hi, I'm Pamela. We have a mutual friend in Kevin Grazier, which is all entirely true. And so suddenly I was an okay person to talk to. And this was 2015, shortly after the Chelyabinsk asteroid event blew up a whole lot of windows in the city of Chelyabinsk. And I got to explain to Richard Hatch, the OG Apollo I grew up with, that it was an Apollo-class asteroid that did that. And then I went on my way and fled. And yeah. So, Jenny, do you think this is the kind of thing you can hang out and be part of? Are you open to our shenanigans?
Oh, Pam, that is mild. That is mild.
I can't hear her. Can you hear her?
Oh my God, what is wrong with this? I don't know what's happening.
Yes, I can hang.
Okay.
I don't know sign language, but yes, I got you. I got you.
What?
It's gonna get weird.
We need to be on the same thing here. We're confusing Zoom.
Technology.
Okay, say something, Jenny.
Yeah?
Jenny, could you say something?
Is it working now?
And
I think this is where we end this section of the stream.
there's some troubleshooting because I don't know what
Jenny, we caught you saying that yes, you were down for our shenanigans.
Oh, yeah.
And we look forward to your mini-me being your sidekick that you get to make Tiny cosplay for. And now we have music. Like a rock star again. And it's not shaped like Theron Sharon. It's gone.
What is wrong with your computer?
There's a cat on stream. We're going to throw to rockets and have a dramatic
everyone.
exit. We will be back next, hopefully with Jason, who's been attacked by the legitimate flu, for the next segment. Stay tuned, everyone. Don't go anywhere. We will be back, hopefully with fewer audio glitches. Bye-bye, everyone.
Hi, friends.